we're going to talk about your Kansas City Chiefs specifically as they take on the Las Vegas Raiders this weekend on Sunday. Now, the Chiefs, just to build a little context here, the Chiefs have gotten to 500. They're now 3-3. It appears they have turned their season around. And the Raiders, they lost 4 in a row, but they just rebounded with a win for themselves. But this isn't just any ordinary game, right? This is a divisional game coming out of the AFC West. So let's talk about what it means to play in a divisional game versus just any other game during the regular season, Priest.
Yeah, well, we got to just talk about first how you pull up to a divisional game.
Okay.
Just trying to make it to pregame is an obstacle. You know what I mean? You pulling up to let's just say pulling up to the Raiders Stadium, and there's fans standing outside. And at one point when I played the game, we had beer cans, beer bottles thrown and bashed at the bus. So it was just getting onto the facility, right, and getting to the stadium was a challenge. So we get out of the stadium, we get into pregame, and there's another obstacle, Mark. They're throwing batteries at us, So the special team coach is telling us, look, before you go outside, you better make sure you keep your helmet on because we can't control what's going to come out the stands, right? So it's an incredible game. And of course, the stadium has changed since those Oakland days, but the way that things are going to go both ways, the momentum is going to swing on both sides at some point during the game. And hopefully, the team that has it swinging their way finally will be the team that's going to win this game.
All right, so the divisional game, that's crazy. I didn't realize you had to wear a hazmat suit just to get in to your warm-ups, but apparently you did. I don't want to say I've partaken in those events, but I've definitely seen them at some of the games because things in Philly, things in Cleveland, they get crazy, right? A lot of snowballs in the wintertime, and, refs make bad calls, fans are passionate, things happen. But I hear you loud and clear on that. Now, let's talk about what's going on with this particular matchup between the Chiefs and the Raiders, because the Chiefs are getting a pretty big piece back. After a 6-game suspension, Rashee Rice will now be lining up in the wide receiver position. And this is a big deal because Mahomes has kind of had to make a mountain out of a molehill, right? And work with what was given him. Travis Kelce, he's closing on your record. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But, he's slowing down. He's getting towards the end of his career. And Xavier Worthy was injured for a little bit. And we had to see some other receivers kind of emerge. The Juju Schuster and also Thornton put together some nice games. But Rashee Rice, their key receiver, is back. So let's do some player prop action here with Rashee Rice.
Okay.
Do you think Rashee Rice is going to score a touchdown in his first game back with the Chiefs this season?
That's always a challenge, because it's just getting back in that chemistry, So you have an opportunity to be, suspended for 6 games. So health-wise, you're going to be firing on all cylinders. You're going to probably be running at a different speed than the rest of the team that have already played 6 games. So he's going to have the energy. He's going to have the ability, and we're going to see those flash and those moments during the game, obviously. But getting into that end zone, it can be difficult. It could get sticky. You know what I mean, Mark? It's definitely in the red zone. So it's I don't see him coming out and scoring, but I do see him being impactful in terms of his speed and his ability to go across the field and get down the field as well. And I think that he will open up some really big gaps and make some huge plays, just because he's going to be the freshest guy on the field. He's the one that's going to be he's going to be a rabbit out there on the field and ready to catch the ball, jumping up, being excited, bringing the energy. If there's not one thing that if he doesn't score a touchdown, Rashee Rice will be bringing the energy and the excitement to the game, and you'll see it in his tempo.
Okay, so no touchdowns for Rashee Rice. Plus, you got to figure the Raider defense is going to be locked on his return, right? He's the type of player you game plan for, right? So they want to shut him down early and fast. But I'm feeling like he's not only going to get in the end zone once, Priest. I think he's getting in the end zone twice.
Twice. Now, is this going to be okay? Let me ask you this, Mark. Is this outside of the red zone or in the red zone?
Okay, I'm glad you asked because I think one is going to be inside the red zone. And I think the second one is just going to be a simple, maybe a 10-yard pass from Mahomes and he breaks it. I think Rashee is going to be so excited to be back, and this is his opportunity to return in style. And I think he's doing it with the deuce. I think he's getting 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Now that'd
2
be a great way
touchdowns.
for him to come back
Yes.
after the 6-game suspension. But he, at the end of the day, he's going to be excited about being
Yes.
back on the field. I think that Mahomes has definitely showed the ability continuously of how he can get the ball to different receivers. He's going to utilize every guy that's out there with a number on their jersey. He's going to make sure that they get a pass or a catch,
Okay, well, speaking of touchdowns, we don't have to linger on this one too long, but Travis Kelce is but 3 touchdowns away from your all-time.
Wait, is it 3?
I think
Is it 3, Mark?
It's 3. Yeah, I think 3
He
over.
came pretty close. Look, he came pretty close last week. Did you see he tried to stretch the ball out after he got tackled?
He did. He did. And I saw you. If you pause the camera, I saw your hand go in there and just go. Bah.
Yep, just tapped away.
He just tapped away just a little. So he's really close to your record, and we'll discuss this more as these games go on. But records are meant to be broken. We know this. But three's not a lot. Do you think he gets there ultimately? Do you think he gets
ultimately,
there?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Ultimately, yes. He's definitely going to get there. I would say that within this season, of course, it's going to be an exciting time, of course, for him to, tackle that particular record. Jamal Charles, he tackled the rushing record. And so, like you said, records are meant to be broken. But I'm excited. And hopefully I can be at that particular game when he's able to, take over that particular record,
Yeah. It looks like we got to go to every game from here on out, right? We got to go to all.
Well, let me ask you this, Mark. Do
Yes.
you know how long that record has been on the table? 20 plus?
Let's see.
Let's go over and under for you now.
Yeah, over under 20 years. Well, let's see. You retired. Let's see, 2007. I'm gonna say how many years? 18 years.
I retired in 2007.
2007. So that's like 18 years, right?
18 years.
Wow.
18 years.
Yeah. That's wild, man. Look, that record has stood for a long time and for good reason because it's a tough one to break. But in today's day and age, it's all about longevity, right? So if you can't stay on the field, you can't score touchdowns. So that's just a testament to not only how good you were, but how good you were despite your injuries when you weren't on the field. So, man, props to you. And as much as I'd like to see you hold on to it forever, I too believe Kelce's going to get it, at some point during this season, and hopefully we're both there for that. All right, let's do this for the first time. All right, Priest. I want to start something new with you. Priest's Beast of the Week. All right, go ahead and try to say that 10 times fast. Priest's Beast of the Week, because we've got a great running back matchup in this game between the Chiefs and the Raiders. You've got Gianti on the Raiders side, who seems to be this breakout superstar for them and basically scoring all their points. And you've got this workhorse Pacheco on the Chiefs side. He's like a human battering ram, right? We've talked about different types of running backs. I feel like Pacheco's that just take people head on, right? So let's break it down a little bit here. Who's going to be Priest's Beast of the Week? Let's start with this category. Of the two backs, who's going to score the first TD of the game between the two?
I actually see Pacheco scoring a touchdown. A little bit untraditional. Instead of running the ball in, I think Pacheco will have a receiving pass.
Okay,
out of
receiving
the backfield.
touchdown.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a receiving touchdown. But, Genty, will he score? I think he has the ability to score because they're giving him the ball a number of times like a starting running back.
Right.
When you look at Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, it's running back by committee, with them as running backs. Genty, of course, if you total up their yards and total up those carries, Genty actually has more carries and more yards than the combined Kareem Hunt and Pacheco. But this is going to be an interesting game because the momentum is going to swing. And then when that momentum swings, like I said, that's going to be the team that's going to be able to carry that W, out of the stadium.
All right. So of the two, though, do you think Pacheco's going to score first?
I think Pacheco has the ability to score first.
Okay.
And I think it'll be a pass. Yeah, I think it's going to be a passing. I think it's going to be a receiving touchdown.
In the red zone?
And definitely, definitely
Okay.
it's going to be on the goal line. I think it's going to be on the goal line within the 5 or 6 yard line.
Okay. All right. So a close touchdown. All right. Of the two, which do you think has, now that Rashee, this is a big factor. Now that Rashee Rice is back, who has the best opportunity to get 2 touchdowns in this game, Pacheco or Gianti? Because, this could be a low-scoring game. Do we feel like both teams are going to be running the ball more than throwing the ball? If that's the case, of the two running backs, who has the better chance to get two?
Well, Jonte, of course. He has the better opportunity because of the number of carries that he's been given so far. He has just roughly over 105 carries in 6 games, so he definitely has had more opportunities, to where he's going to get a chance to get across the goal line.
All right, so it's a volume thing. I agree with you on
Absolutely.
that. Okay, and who do you think?
They work him like a workhorse right now. I mean, he's had over 20 plus carries, 17, 21 carries, and so he had 138 yards a few weeks ago on I think roughly either 17 or 21 carries, and so they're treating him like the starting running back. But it's interesting. With Gianti being so young, he's only 21 years of age. So there's still that element of he's a younger guy in the league, and then he really hasn't had that ability to get started. I think defenses have done a really great job to keep him from getting up the field immediately, where he's had to do 1 or 2 steps before he can even get to the line of scrimmage, and then finally get uphill. And I think that's kind of worked to his demise, and you can kind of see it in terms of the production. But I think he's definitely going to still have a really good season, and he's going to have a number of carries in order to have a successful campaign.
Okay. All right. So who finishes with more? Let's stick to rushing yards here, not total yards from scrimmage. Okay. But who's going to finish with more rushing yards, Gianti or Pacheco?
Of course, Gianti. He gets the number of carries. He's going to average anywhere from 17 to 21 carries this game. They're going to have to run the ball. It's going to be tough sledding, of course, against the defense because, if you look at the Chiefs last week, they were playing angry. They were playing mean and takeaway ball, sacks. They had the whole combination going for a successful defense. And what that breeds is a W on the other end. And so I think Mahomes definitely took advantage of it.
And that was against the Lions, mistake you not, right? They were 4-1 at the time. So
wait, Mark, let's go back. Yes. You remember 6 weeks before the season started, I talked about the Lions.
You did.
And they were my favorite. They were my pick in the NFC. And they've definitely started off these first 6 games pretty strong.
And that could be a tease of what we see in the Super Bowl, right? Lions-Chiefs. That could have been a nice little tease. All right. So I'm doing some math here. You feel like Gianti's just going to have so much more volume than Pacheco. So then is Ashton Gianti your Priest's Beast of the Week?
Oh, man, come on, Mark. Yeah, look, this is the thing. Are we going based on production or just excitement when the person touches the ball? Because Pacheco, when you hand Pacheco the football, he gets you excited. He gets you off the couch. He makes you want to go grab your popcorn because of the way that he runs the ball. Now, again, Ashton has the same ability. He's low to the ground. He has huge lower body strength. He has the ability to break tackles as well. We've seen that here in the last 6 games. But if I'm going for my pick, I can't just go with the guy that just gets you excited when he touches the ball. You got to go with the guy that has the production. So I'm going with Ashton.
All right. So Priest's Beast of the Week is Ashton Gianti. All right. Let's close this out real quick. Over under at the moment. Watch your screen. Check your screen right now for the current. If you're going to be placing a bet, but 45.5 at the time of this taping is the over under. Where are you going? Where's your head at with this game? Do you see it being a shootout, or do you feel like it's going to be more of a defensive battle?
Always a defensive battle. Between
AFC
these two
West,
teams. Yeah. It's going to be a defensive battle. And the game is just going to swing left and right at least 2 or 3 times, of course. So I'm going under. With that 45.5, I'm going under.
Breaking news from Bet365. New customers, Priest, $5. You just bet that and you can get $200 in bonus bets. Win or lose. So sign up, place a bet for $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Win or lose.
Bonus bets can be used on the spread, player props, futures, and so much more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. Or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 21 plus only. 18 plus in Kentucky. Please gamble responsibly, and you must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, and Kentucky, as well as Louisiana and select parishes. Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. $10 minimum deposit required. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
This has been a Playmaker production.